since we did talk about how anynines is helping customer, can you talk a bit about what kind of services or products do you have? Is it a mix of services that you can run leveraging SaaS, or do you also have products that one can install on their own data center, or is it a mix of both?
If you want to build an application development platform, what are the building blocks that are required? It's maybe the question here. First of all, application developers want to deploy their applications. So there's a trend towards microservice architectures where applications that used to be monoliths are broken down into individual pieces. So each of these little applications, they are so-called microservices, they can be developed in their own language by a separate team, for example. This enables local choices, for example, choosing and picking the right data store to store a particular data profile versus another. So, for example, for financial transactions, as the name suggests, you may want to have a relational database where there are transactions, whereas with semi-structured data, you may want to have a document database. So if you look into the demand of application developers following those modern application development paradigms, you will find very quickly that you need to provide a home for deploying applications. And you also need to provide methods to provide databases, message queues, and other data services like that in a good and well-integrated combination in a way that the lifecycle management of the platform as well as the application workloads need to be as much automated as possible. So consequently, we looked into how can platforms be built and stumbled across those modern and popular technologies such as Cloud Foundry and Kubernetes. So these technologies, they allow you to create a home for those applications, whether you have a lot of stateless 12-factor compliant cloud-native applications, you'll have an affinity towards Cloud Foundry. Whereas if you have a larger degree of containerized applications or legacy applications with lightweight state, then maybe you have an affinity towards Kubernetes. But what these both technologies do not solve right away is where do you get your database from? How do you run your database on top or next to such an application development platform? While in the Kubernetes era, there is a certain movement to create operators, how they are called in the Kubernetes ecosystem, we've been starting to automate database lifecycles at scale about 5 or 6 years ago. And the emerging pattern that seems to be the best choice when it comes to have one solution and offer databases from small, tiny, rather cheap databases to large production-grade, highly available clusters. The paradigm of on-demand provisioning of dedicated service instances seems to be the healthy choice. And this is what we've been doing for 6 or 7 years. So as a consequence, we today have a product framework. That's what we call the anynines platform. And it consists of Cloud Foundry, of Kubernetes, and a set of data services, including Postgres, MySQL, RabbitMQ, MongoDB, Elasticsearch, Prometheus, an Elk stack, which is Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, so that application developers can write their application, streaming logs to a place, streaming metrics to a place where they can be analyzed again, write relational data, have a document store, and so on, have a message queue. So that makes the platform product round and complete. So this is only half the things that these clients will need, because often they are overwhelmed with operating these large distributed systems themselves. So we also offer 2 different ways to engage with us. The first would be if they have a technology team that's capable of doing that, but are not quite familiar with the technology stack. We build the deployment for them. We help them with release management, providing them new versions. They execute those releases. Or if they don't want to do that, we'll do the full remote operation. So in this way, we have had clients who were under pressure to build application platforms, and we bootstrapped environments within 2 or 4 weeks to production grade. So that's basically what we do.